Welcome to GoDaddy School of Hustle, where we draw inspiration and motivation from entrepreneurs who are making their own way. Today I have a very special guest, somebody who inspires millions of new actors coming around the world. He's an actor, he's a screenwriter, he's a director, and what Time magazine calls him the superstar of Indian art house cinema. But that's not the only thing. We talk about hustling, and here's somebody who hustles with perfection. He's been the captain of Indian rugby team, an avid sports person, and a very, very passionate social entrepreneur. So Rahul, welcome to GoDaddy School of Hustle, and it's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, Nikhil. The kind of intro you made, you could put a lot of people out of business here. You were fantastic. Hustle, that's a word that is anathema to me. I actually don't know whether I'm a hustler. Thank you. Thanks for having me here. I don't know about millions of actors, maybe 1.5 from behind the rest, but that's it.
No, you've been humble, and so there are the three qualities about Rahul I must say, because I want to go back to when I first actually ended up meeting Rahul in a personal capacity. I was always looking at him at a distance, when I was running all these marathons, and here he would come and...
The distance was that he was way ahead of me and I was way behind. That was the distance.
But humility, hard work, and hustling. So we talked about hustling, but when I met Rahul at the event, and it was an event about some fundraising for different causes, and Rahul was speaking there, and I approached him and I asked him about the foundation, which is your entrepreneurship venture, and you took almost an hour to sit me down and actually walk me through why you started, how you're going about it. What are the small details about it? And, it really gave me a lesson and gave every entrepreneur a lesson of, how do you be humble and talk about your passion? So, I'd love to start off with that. How did the foundation come about?
There isn't a short answer to this. I'll try and make it as short as possible. I think a lot of people are concerned about the inequity in the world. When I was looking at the vast sort of abyss between the lowest form of development and the highest form of development in this country, I said, fine, if development has to be long-term and take root and be successful, it might be slow, but it'll be sure and it'll be long-lasting. For development to take place like that, the people of that land have to buy into it. So to that end, this is the only NGO in the world doing this. We go into an underdeveloped area and we select 6 children at the age of 11. And then we give them the best. By the best, I mean the wisest, the most compassionate, the most empathetic, the most emotionally intelligent, the most kind, the deepest, richest, real human education that any child could want from the best places in the country. We have 6 kids from Kashmir who are now 19. They were 11 when they were selected. Ashoka University, Shiv Nadar University, Symbiosis, Sapphire College. And we have 5 kids from Manipur who are now in their 10th standard finishing their CBSE from New Era School, Panchgani. If you can actually 17 years later send these kids back to their homelands as giants, deep, wide, rich, informed, educated, and go back there to change things with the Lieutenant Governor or the Chief Minister or not. What amazing, powerful human beings they could be in engineering change there. And that's why you came on board. I know that you drove the whole thing, and I met the whole GoDaddy team later on. My belief is there are millions of people like you and millions of people like me. We just need to connect, and we need to have a little bit of time and a little bit of kindness to stop and listen and share.
There's moments from many people when they start doing this activity. It was not necessarily in your case, but Tsunami, when it happened, there was a story where you actually had gone down there, spent a lot of time. If you could just share a bit on that. I think not many people have heard about it, or it'll be great for our viewers to hear that.
The tsunami struck on Boxing Day, 2004, December 26th. And I was watching the television, and I knew that the tsunami had hit the Andaman Nicobar Islands, but there was hardly any coverage of it. I made about maybe 90, 100 phone calls, trying to find people who knew people who knew people who knew people in the Andamans. Drew a blank except one person. My aunt was the deputy governor of the Reserve Bank. She knew somebody in banking who knew somebody in the State Bank. And finally, there was somebody holding a placard from State Bank or something, outside in the airport when I went there. And I ended up staying and working on relief and rehabilitation. I made 26 trips over 30 months. For 2.5 years I was in the Andamans, and there's not a single photograph of me in the Andamans. Today, when after those 2.5 years, I started my foundation and I selected 6 kids from the Andamans, and those kids have been with us for 15 years. From 2004 to 2019, in 15 years, there has not been a single photograph of me in the Andamans.
It's an honor to hear these things, because I had some opportunity to hear this from you in one-on-one, but I think a lot of folks don't get to, hear, because it is hard work. It's not easy, as you're saying, and it needs a lot of fight from within, fight with the system, with different people around, and I think it's the persistence which pays off.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about a bit on digitization now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, in today's world, there's no world without digitization. Yeah. You started the foundation. How did you think about perhaps building the presence of online for your foundation? Obviously, there was yourself who was the best brand to build it out, but to scale it, to get the word out, how did the digitization journey for the foundation started?
It's a terrible answer. I never wanted anyone to know about the foundation. So the short answer is we didn't. Rahul, let's have a website. I'm like, I guess we need a website because people have to write into us. Okay. But if we have a website, it has to be superbly designed, is what I said. Okay. What do we say? Let's talk about this. I said, no, let's not. Let's put out how much money we raised in our last fundraiser. I said, no, let's not. So in that respect, we are your worst clients. We are just the nightmare of people, because I'm constantly retreating. At the same time, when I want you, or I want somebody from another foundation abroad or wherever it is, or my colleagues in the industry who act in America or wherever, and they want to know more about this, then yes, we really do need to have a presence. We need to have a presence both digitally on the web as well as on social media. So now I'm beginning to understand that there could be a via media between what I want and what the world wants. So whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, whether it's the website, I do believe it's not only is it important, it's respectful to the rest of the world to tell them about stuff. So yeah, I'm a convert, half convert.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, this inspirational journey about the foundation. How you thought about it. The role. Now you're switching more towards digitization as an enabler, so we're happy for that. I just want to end with a few fun one-liner questions. I'm going to try. I'm not that.
These are never fun, you know that. Yeah. For the answerer, it's never fun. Yeah. The questioner has a lot of fun. Go ahead.
Well, I'll try to make it fun, though I'm not very good at these ones. But social media. What do you love the most about it, and what do you hate the most about it?
What I love most about it is that you can actually put out information to people in corners of the world that you earlier couldn't. And what I hate most about it, what everybody hates most about it, is the violence. I keep saying, if I had known that there were so many people in the world who hated me, I would never get out of bed.
What's your favorite tech gadget?
There's some pretty nifty things happening in the world of physiotherapy now. Sports physiotherapy. There's some pretty nifty things happening. But I'm going to still say the phone, because it's not a phone anymore. It can launch a satellite.
Yeah. And what do you call home for you? Because I know you have roots in Kolhapur, you have roots in Calcutta, you have roots in Mumbai. If I remember correctly, you call yourself half Punjabi, half Bengali.
Half Bengali, quarter Punjabi, quarter Maharashtrian.
Quarter Maharashtrian.
This is the truth.
Yes.
Because mom was half Punjabi, half Maharashtrian.
Yeah. And I know you go back to Kolhapur. Where do you feel like now when you go and you need to feel like I need to go to what I call home? Which place would that be?
I would call Bombay my home, Kasauli my heart, Kolhapur my blood, and maybe Kolkata my soul.
Yeah. Favorite food?
Shami kebabs and paratha.
And the last question, which obviously you and I talk a lot about, fitness. Your favorite fitness regime?
Everything which is plyometric and which is dynamic, but it would have to be running as fast as you can to catch the wind. That's still my thing. I love it.
Yeah, and if you guys have not watched Rahul's tennis post on Instagram, please do. They're very funny, and I follow them like
because I'm so crap at it. Please do not.
But your persistence at your training, which is well, Rahul. It's been a pleasure chatting up with you. Thank you for sharing so many inspirational insights about the foundation, who you are. It's been great pleasure having you here, and I look forward to hosting you more again on GoDaddy.
Next time I ask you the questions.
Yes, please. I will try. I won't be as good as you, but I will try.
You'll be better.
Yeah.
I know you.
So thank you for watching The School of Hustle by GoDaddy. Please watch us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for more interesting episodes. Thank you.